Army veteran.
Oh, there you go.
Right on the end here?
Right on the end. So we can park those.
Keep going. Right, so hang on, You is. Yeah, so hang on. I'm just gonna swim. Sit right here, okay?
Okay, I got you, Jack. I wouldn't let you off. Okay. Go back. Yeah, she's right behind you, Jack. Wouldn't let you go. Okay, buddy.
I was standing forever. So.
I'm about to fall into my office. It should be good to go. Yeah, hot mic stuff. Okay. Yeah. So you know, you president, each have your own mic. So I moved over the mic. No, it's not. I know. That's right. I would want you to have that as the chief executive. Because, and I think I can send it to the engineer too, maybe, and Mike Rua and the council, but I had you and Sharon at the top. No worries. No, I need to be checked, because if I. We all want, yeah.
Back again, we're gonna wait till later.
No, we're gonna wait till later.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Make sure I'm gonna go, then
Hang on, well, we're coming back to What's that?
Did you hear what I said? Yes. I know, but I'm not.
Thanks, sir.
Mike was in the room when it happened. He knew. He said, everybody was unanimous.
Check. Can you hear me?
You just press and hold that down.
It's yellow, the green is.
Yeah. You might think about
All right, let's call the meeting of the City of Tonawanda Council to order at 7:05 PM. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sheasley,
Here.
Fisher, Cook,
Here, please stand for the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America. To the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. For just a moment of silent reflection. Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, I'd like to turn this over to the mayor for his Veteran of the Month presentation. Mayor?
Thank you. I like to read this quick thing in regards to John Gomerick. John Gomerick was a Slovenian immigrant drafted into the U.S. Army in World War II. And that was in 1943. His service began with the initial landing in North Africa and following to its campaign in Italy, France, and Germany. Mr. Gomerick honorably served our country with the 3rd Infantry Division, 7th Infantry Regiment, and survived numerous close calls. In one instance, he was knocked to the ground by a German grenade. In another, he was wounded and used his rifle as a cane to get back to the medical tents. In 1944, while serving in France, John earned a Silver Star, the nation's 3rd highest award for valor. Several times during a single engagement, he repaired a telephone line between 2 platoons. During that last repair, he captured a German soldier who was trying to cut the telephone line between the 2 platoons. John's bravery saved fellow soldiers and many against enemy attacks. On October 20, 2023, John Gomerick received the Consul General of France in New York, presented him with the John Gomerick, the insignia of Knight of the Legion of Honor. That's France's highest decoration. It's unbelievable. His honor, he accepted not only for himself, but also for his fellow soldiers who did not make it. We thank you, John Gomerick, for your honorable service to the country, and we wish you all the best as you celebrate 100 years as your birthday, well lived. So congratulations, John Gomerick. Come on up, please. Mr. Gomer, stay right where you are. Stay right where you are. First of all, I want to thank you for your service. And this year, your service is yours. And another one of these is going to be placed in the hallway, so everybody for a full month will see how John Gomer is that light. We thank you for your service. Sir. Thank you for venturing in. There. We really appreciate it. How do you hear it? It's fantastic. I love it. Congratulations. And yes, you know, you need a hand?
Can you tell us the brief story of the second invasion of Normandy? He was part of the second wave. It was the first invasion of the D-Day wave. He was the second invasion of Normandy. He was telling me the story when I went to his house to inform him that he received the award. Can you share that with us?
Well, there's not much I can tell you about. I jumped out of a boat, the water up to my neck, holding my rifle over my head. Loud to the beach. Then when I got on the beach, like from here to the floor, there was a wire. And out of wire was standing there. Play. Saying in German, Nennen. That means mine. But to me, it means anything. I jumped over the wire, started to walk. I was in the mine. I started to walk, look to my truck. And the guy behind me yelled, "John, stop, you're in the minefield. You're in the minefield." I stopped, I turned around, stepped into my own footstep, jumped over the wire again, and joined the guys. They were advanced.
Again, so thank you. Great job.
Thank you very much for this honor.
You're
Father.
Sir.
I don't know.
My pleasure.
Well,
You guys are able to stay with us. Please. Yes, yeah, feel free to leave, please.
Get back home.
I know that's really good. Thank you so much, sir.
you know.
Very good, very good, very
Yeah,
good.
you got two strong men to help you out.
Yes, the rest of us to the right.
No, it's not. We just stand up and then walk through. Yeah, got it. That's ready.
So third tree? I would go to the tree.
There we go, perfect, perfect. Just pick up your feet, just pick up your feet.
Great story, huh?
Yeah. There we go. If you're ready, we'll unlock it. Ready to go, Dad? You wanna walk or you wanna sit?
Says they don't leave the house. I
Oh,
told them. It's coming.
unlock it. Go.
Communications from the mayor have been ordered and filed. Communications from city officials have also been ordered and filed.
For his around the room.
We'll now take comments by the public on the resolutions. For those that are joining us in person, please approach the microphone. For those that are joining us virtually, there's a spot for you to raise your hand. Please do so and the clerk will call upon you. Mr. Clerk, any resident wishing to address the council on the resolutions?
At this time, Council President, no, there is no one.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Let's proceed.
Resolution number 1. Sponsored by Councilman Sheasley.
Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Fisher. Comments or questions? I'm sorry, Mr. Clerk, if you could read the resolution.
Yes, I'll read the resolution now. Resolved that the common council minutes from June 4th, 2024 be accepted as filed.
Comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Sheasley,
Aye.
Fisher, Cook,
I declare the resolution adopted. Mr. Clerk, I'd like to make a motion to amend the reading of resolution number 2. And it will read, be it resolved that the common council will conduct their July meetings on July 2nd and July 23rd due to Canal Fest falling on the third Tuesday respectively. Do I have a second for the amendment? Second by Mr. Fisher. All those in favor? Okay. Now, Mr. Clerk, you can start resolution 2. That it's been amended now.
yes, be it resolved that this common council will conduct their July meetings on July 2nd and July 23rd due to the festivities commemorating Independence Day and Canal Fest falling on the first and third Tuesdays respectively.
So, it wouldn't say Independence Day, it would just say Canal Fest falling on the third Tuesday respectively.
Noted.
Sponsored by, myself. Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Fisher. Comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Sheasley,
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Cook,
I declare the resolution adopted. You wanted to make that motion?
Yeah, can I make a motion number 3 to not read it all?
Mr. Clerk, I have a motion on the floor to waive the reading of resolution 3. Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Fisher. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
yes, just to be clear, is that for resolution number 3 or is that resolution number 3 through 8?
The motion was for 3 only.
Gotcha, okay. Sheasley,
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Cook,
I declare resolution 3 waiving the reading. So resolution 3 is sponsored by myself. Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Fisher. Comments or questions? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sheasley,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Cook,
I declare the resolution adopted.
this is resolution number 4, sponsored by Council President Cook.
Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Fisher.
Are you ready for me to read the resolution?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Whereas a special events application was received by the city clerk from Pamela Peterman for the Tasha Strong Foundation's Run from the Sun 5K run. And whereas the application was reviewed and commented on by all appropriate department heads to ensure the safety and well-being of our residents. And whereas all details for the above named event must be coordinated with Captain Kevin Ulmer of the Police Department and the event chairperson. Now, therefore, be it resolved that permission be granted to Pamela Peterman to hold the Tasha Strong Foundation's Run from the Sun 5K run event on Saturday, September 28th, 2024, starting at 7 p.m. And be it further resolved that a certificate of insurance naming the city of Tonawanda as additional insured be filed with the city clerk no later than September 13th, 2024.
Comments or questions? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sheasley,
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Cook,
I declare the resolution adopted.
next is resolution number 5, sponsored by Council Member Sheasley.
I'll second.
Are y'all gonna have any discussion?
So you have to read the resolution.
I
And
can
then I'll-
read it. I just didn't know, in the past you said you were gonna discuss. Corporate. Whereas a special events application was received by the city clerk from Lauren Debate for the Shimmer Sun Festival concert. And whereas the application was reviewed and commented on by all appropriate department heads to ensure the safety and well-being of our residents. And whereas all details for the above named event must be coordinated with Parks Department and the event chairperson, now therefore be it resolved that permission be granted to Lauren Debate for the Shimmer Sun Festival concert at the David Miller Bandshell area at Nyawanda Park on Saturday, July 7th, 2024, from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Be it further resolved that a certificate of insurance naming the city of Tonawanda as additionally insured is filed with the city clerk no later than June 20th, 2024.
Comments or questions? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sheasley,
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Cook,
I declare the resolution adopted.
resolution number 6, sponsored by Councilmember Fisher.
I'll second.
A special events. Who's the second?
I'll second.
Okay. Whereas a special events application was received by the city clerk from Thomas Barafato for the 5th of July Street Festival at Old Man River. And whereas the application was reviewed and commented on by all appropriate department heads to ensure the safety and well-being of our residents. And whereas all details for the above named event must be coordinated with Captain Kevin Ulmer of the Police Department and the event chairperson, now therefore be it resolved that permission be granted to Thomas Barafato to hold the 5th of July Street Festival at Old Man River on Franklin Street between Niagara Street and Adams Street on Friday, July 5th, 2024, starting at 3 p.m. and lasting until 10 p.m. And be it further resolved that a certificate naming the city of Tonawanda as additional insured be filed with the city clerk no later than June 21st, 2024.
Comments or questions? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sheasley.
Aye.
Fisher. Cook,
I declare the resolution adopted. Mr. Clerk, I'd like to make a motion to table resolution 7. Do I have a second? Seconded by Mr. Fisher. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sheasley,
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Cook,
Aye, resolution 7 has been tabled. At this time, we'll now take comments by the public following the resolutions. If you're joining us virtually, there is a spot for you to raise your hand. Please do so. For those that are joining us in person, please approach the microphone. Mr. Clerk, are there any residents who are joining us virtually wishing to address the council?
Council President, at this time, there is no one wishing to address the council.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Sheasley.
I've been approached by a few members of American Legion. I'm gonna read a letter, it's lengthy, but I promised them I would read it. Mayor White, Council President, Council Administrative Assistant Stewart, Post 264 is the city's oldest, most diverse veterans organization representing World War II to current members of the armed forces. In the past month, our members have several concerns that we'd like to address. Every year for the past 75 years, our Legion has had the honor to be in charge of placing flags at local cemeteries. The event is always during the week before Memorial Day, as again it was done this year. Legion is responsible for numerous cemeteries to include Salem, St. Francis. Cemeteries include Salem and St. Francis. St. Francis cemeteries were well prepared and ready for this honor. Tonawanda City Cemetery was a total disgrace. Most of the graves had 3 to 4 inches of grass on the grave markers, make it almost impossible to identify the stones. In most volunteers' eyes, a hayfield. Graves weren't trimmed and common areas were a mess. This issue was addressed to the mayor with no response. It's also addressed to several council members. We are cordially asking this problem be addressed for next year and that the cemetery be prepared to honor those graves so much. The veterans of this community have 2 events, Memorial Day and Veterans Day bridge ceremonies, honoring those that gave so much and those that served. Again, this year was missing Mayor White, Council President Cook. Again, we cordially request that these official president to at least comment and introduce our city officials, as does North Tonawanda every year. No, last is noted in our introduction that we have members from World War II to current military. This past week of ceremonies at the All Hero Monument was conducted by our city to honor members on this monument, the 80th anniversary of D-Day. At no time were we, the adjutant, chairman of the board of directors and building manager, notified of this event and invite those still alive World War II veterans. The opportunity to attend.
Mr. Sheasley, hang on one second. Gentlemen, can you take this in the back? Thank you. Sorry, Mr. Sheasley.
No problem, no problem. Board of Directors, building manager notified of this event and invite those still alive World War II veterans the opportunity to attend and be recognized as part of the largest veterans family of our community knowledge to attend. This lack of communication is to improve. We cordially recommend that notification of the events be mailed to American Legion PO Box 66. And then contact with our commander, adjutant, chairman of the board, director be notified. Your assistance is greatly appreciated in these management first future events. Tonawanda's Post 264 board of directors. Also, what I have stated to them is that we will make those lines of communications more prevalent. Getting those addresses of VFW, Vietnam Veterans, American Legion, and the Veterans Council of the city. I think all those 4 people that I'll do it myself, we throw it out there, and I know there's responses of letters from the mayor and council president, but I promised them I would read it.
Anything
My
else?
fellow veterans.
Anything else, Mr. Sheasley?
No, I'm good.
Mr. Fisher?
Yeah, I got a few things. We're gonna start with the Veteran of the Month, John Gojormek. When I went over to his house to notify him, he was telling me that he was 3rd Infantry, 7th Regiment. I was 3rd Infantry, 3rd Brigade. Different 3rd Infantry just moved from Germany and different places around the world. He was in the 40s. Then that's how he got to telling me about the second invasion of Normandy. And I'm glad we got to hear it from a person. For those who couldn't hear it, he was talking about holding his rifle over his head as he actually exited the boat through the water. So we've actually heard a boots on the ground report from someone who was actually in World War II. So I'm honored that he was able to come here and just even share that little bit with us. For the Chris Fisher Gives Back program, with this being Juneteenth tomorrow, the donation was made to Black Boys Read Too. This is an organization that puts books in barber shops. It gives the children another option other than their phones and electronic devices when they go to the barber shop with their parents. They wanted, they started this program to, put books in different places. They needed funds to do it. So they created this organization. I was honored to be able to make a donation to them. The American Legion, as far as different correspondences back and forth, I would like to point out and honor American Legion has a new commander named Matt Ryler. Matt Ryler has recently, I don't know, I think it was right after that letter was written, Matt Ryler became the new commander. So we look forward to an open dialogue with him. And just to let everybody know, the former commander was Dan Meisner, who was also a City of Tonawanda Veteran of the Month member. Moving on to our own agencies here, the fire department hosted an inspection and then the firefighters parade. I was honored to be one of their guests and go along and inspect the trucks. They were like brand new, showroom condition, armor all. I took a picture, it was on Facebook, and I actually have a hard copy that I've given to the chief here if anybody would like to see the picture. And to take that picture, they suggested that I go onto the roof of one of the trucks to take it. And as I did that, one of the career firefighters said, "Don't slip on that wax," which he wasn't kidding. It was like an ice rink. They waxed those trucks so shiny. And then we went on to the parade. The police department handling the tragedy that we just had on Wheeler. As we know that there was a major incident, it was presumably road rage. So stop signs and different things, probably wouldn't have prevented that tragedy, but now that we've had that tragedy, we can all look to go forward. And also the DPW, I've been in contact with them, with the mayor and stuff on different issues and potholes, and they've been very responsive, and our DPW is very good at doing their job and being responsive to our city needs. That is everything from me.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Mayor?
Thank you. My also congrats to John Gomerick. Great story. I'd love to hear it. It was fantastic having him here. Congratulations to Eric. Eric, our code enforcement, has a new baby. So I want to say congratulations to his new baby. Tomorrow is Juneteenth. City Hall is closed tomorrow, as everybody I'm sure is know. We have 11 o'clock Canal Street presentation down at the Canal Street Pavilion. And we're having Reverend Jones come from Niagara Falls again. He did a fantastic job last year. We had about 50, 60 people last year. We anticipate about 200 this year. Since we don't take the whole day off, all employees, we still have people work. City Hall is closed to the public and respect for it. But we also respect it by doing an educational seminar. The educational seminar is down at Canal Street. He talks about what Juneteenth really is. It's really inspiring if you come. It gave me goosebumps last year just listening to him. So I was hoping we get more people this year. We got the employees after the education thing they're doing in the morning for a couple hours. They're gonna come down to Juneteenth, see what it's all about. Food's gonna be down there, vendors, they have some singers. He told me they're gonna actually be singing while he's talking about the Juneteenth of the songs that were done in the fields while they were working. So it's pretty inspiring. It's gonna be pretty incredible. So if you get a chance, come on down to Juneteenth tomorrow at 11 o'clock at the Canal Street Pavilion. June 29th is Recycle Paper, the shredding event at the Salvation Army parking lot. Come on down. If you've got a lot of paperwork you want to shred, that you want to get rid of professionally, bring it down there. It's a great event for that. Put on by the Chamber of Commerce, City Hall, the City of Tonawanda, also the Assemblyman Conrad's office. So it's a nice event and it's put out to the public. July 4th, as you know, there's not going to be, as you're going to find out right now, there's not going to be no celebration on July 4th. It's being celebrated with fireworks on July 5th. So we're putting a lit sign per our department head meeting this morning down at the river, basically saying that July 4th celebration is going to be celebrated on July 5th, which is a Friday. If we do it the 4th, which is the Thursday, we couldn't get the proper people in to do the fireworks. They could only do it on the next day. Makes sense because now Saturday is the next day. Most people aren't working. So if they have a really, really good time, they may take that off and relax and sleep in. The other reason is we have a concern going 2.5 or 2 inches of our 2 inches of our cylinders. We have some people get concerns on the Niagara Street. To legally do it at 200 feet, we're talking into their front yards as a safety zone. So it's not going to happen. So we merged with North Tonawanda. We're doing it off of Tonawanda Island. And I was assured, and we're going to advertise and promote it starting end of this week and early next week. It's going 600 to 800 feet in the air. You're going to be able to see it anywhere in the city of Tonawanda, anywhere on Niagara Street, anywhere in Grand Island, and anywhere over all the way in North Tonawanda, all the way down Gratwood Park. So I think it's going to be a fun event. And we went from 20 minutes to half an hour. So we increased the time of it, the height of it. And I just can't get over those trees anymore with the height that is required with the safety zone that we need to also hit also. So we're going to be closing up Niagara Street for our meeting this morning. So Niagara Street will be closed. So the park will be closed as usual, as we do for any 4th of July celebration. So it's a safety issue. It's like getting out of a Sabres game at a minute after the game. We're not going to have everybody parked down there. So we never did, never will. So we are going to be closing Niagara Street so everybody knows again. We do have Ready Bikes coming into City Tonawanda, which is our rental bikes. There's going to be a list of them, probably 6 of them down by the boat docks and another group down at Canal Street at the hub area. So they're going to be able to rent the bikes, which will be nice. And with their credit cards, do it whatever way they ask for it. And they got to return those bikes back to the same spots. If they don't, it's on their card. We're going to start promoting that on July 10th. So we got a couple of good things going on with the city. So I do respect that. But in response to the Legion, I had a response also for the Legion. For the Legion, dear distinguished board members, thank you for your most recent correspondence received on June 11th, 2023 via the Tonawanda clerk, Mario Penna. I would like to address each of these concerns as outlined in your letter. The staff of City of Tonawanda Parks and Recreation have made great strides to ensure that the parks, ball diamonds through the city are open, accessible, mowed, maintained weekly, including the city cemetery. To be fair, our region has experienced a very rainy and wet spring, which we all did, which impede the ability to mow often as needed. My office has also made great strides to improve the working relationship between the city workers and the volunteers who make up the city cemetery committee, allowing these hardworking and dedicated volunteers to utilize their time with not just simple hand tools, but also to support their effort in maintaining a well manicured, sovereign place, a resting place for deceased members of our community. But there has always been room for improvement. We're always looking to get better. As with any volunteer organization, their members are low, and the cemetery committee is always looking for more people to pitch in. If any members of Post 264, VFW, VVA are interested in volunteering, please contact my office, Chairperson Ronald Snyder, or Second Ward Councilperson Chris Fisher, who also volunteers his time for the maintenance of the efforts. With regards to this year's Memorial Day service, I do apologize for my absence. I was out of town with my family for the weekend, but I did in fact relay my regrets not being able to attend to Paul Piotrowski the week leading up to the cemetery, to the ceremony. With the special events, paperwork was received by the city same week. The D-Day was 48 hours prior to when there were no plans, nothing in place. We put it together at the last second. In the time frame, we publicized the event via local radio, TV stations, as well as on social media. We also reached out to both Nyland and the Muck families, inviting them to join us as well. And we're honored by Preston Nyland, also attended along with many members of his family and so many members of the council. Also, honor guards were assembled by the city's Vietnam veterans of Chapter 077, who also coordinated the playing of taps, Bill Miles, with the replacement of the wreath by Preston Nyland, Legislator Bargnesi, and myself. Moving forward, however, perhaps a yearly recognition of D-Day, which we don't do, would be maybe tremendously important day in United States history. We will collaboratively move forward and coordinate between the Mayor's Office, the Frontier, VFW 7545, the American Legion Post 264, and the VVA Chapter 077. Finally, I've always, with a well-encouraged and open line of communication, my door is always open between myself and all organizations of the city. However, perhaps our needs are a bit more attention by all parties involved. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Congratulations to our Veteran of the Month. I'd like to thank him for his service. What a remarkable and harrowing story. And thank you for attending this evening. I'd also like to congratulate our city attorney, who he will be a grandfather again later this year. So congratulations to him. I too would like to read a letter, the correspondence that I sent to the American Legion as well, for the record. It was dated June 12th, and it is in response to the letter that was dated June 11th that was received by our city clerk. Dear Board of Directors, as a granddaughter and a niece of a veteran, I appreciate the service and dedication of all our servicemen and women, past, present, and future. I wanted to take an opportunity to respond to the letter that the city received. I'm extremely thankful that you took the time to express your concerns, and I agree we can do a better job of communicating, and will include the Board of Directors in communications moving forward. Number one, we're extremely thankful that your organization placed the flags out at our local cemeteries. The condition of our cemetery is of top priority to every one of us. I understand that the mayor has appointed Councilman Fisher to serve as a representative on the cemetery board. Please direct your concerns regarding the conditions to Councilman Fisher and Mayor White so they can be addressed. Prior to the American Legion Post 264 placing the flags on the city cemetery, there was a cemetery cleanup day, which was led by Ronald Snyder, our chairman. Our cemetery board does an incredible job working to improve those conditions. We take great pride in our cemetery, and we will work with our Parks and Recreation Department to ensure it is properly taken care of. Your letter did not specify what council members you reached out to, but I'm certain once they received your concerns, they would have worked to address those concerns. Number two, the Memorial Day ceremony is a beautiful ceremony in which I have attended many times in the past. Unfortunately, I was out of town on vacation and unable to attend. The mayor and I notified Paul Piotrowski of our inability to attend the ceremony. I also understand that Councilmember Rautenstrau was also on vacation as well and unable to attend. As a city, we do our best to attend every event possible. There are times when our schedules conflict and we're unable to attend. If you can share a list of who is on the board of directors, I will make sure that we communicate our absences in the future. The D-Day event was planned and coordinated through the mayor's office. I know he had had discussions with several veterans in the community to help promote the event. I understand that many veterans were in attendance. I agree that communications can always be improved, and I'll certainly strive to communicate with the board of directors as a whole. Thank you for all you do for our community. Your efforts are appreciated. As I mentioned above, please inform the city who serves on the board of directors so we can ensure that we are communicating to all involved. If you have any further questions or if I can be of assistance, please contact me. All my best. The only other point that I would like to make is that letter wasn't signed by the board of directors. So the mayor and I, when we were responding, we weren't aware of who actually served on the board of directors. Now I understand the letter was written prior to a vote. There is now a new board. Our city clerk is in receipt of who the commander is, and I know Councilman Fisher mentioned it as well. And I believe we have a list of the board of directors as well. So I do appreciate their feedback and their concerns, and we'll continue to move forward. With that said, the council will be meeting in the back, and thank you all for coming. Drive home safe. No, we're meeting in the back. So we'll adjourn from the back. I send.
I can, if you have a list, I can confirm it with Ryler. Actually,
John
has it.
My father-in-law.
Ryler's running the open house this weekend. He called